The noise is getting louder, and now it's impossible to ignore. Xabi Alonso to Liverpool is no longer just a rumour floating around Europe. This is starting to feel real, because in Spain, a huge claim has just dropped. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. According to Diario AS editor-in-chief Aritz Gabilondo, there are no doubts that Alonso's future lies at Anfield, not maybe, not could, no doubts, and that changes everything. Liverpool are reportedly the club pushing hardest for him behind the scenes, while across Europe, there's a growing belief that Alonso's situation at Real Madrid wasn't actually his fault. Despite dressing room tension, he still delivered a 70.5% win rate. Numbers that scream elite-level coaching. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Since Alonso left, Álvaro Arbeloa has taken over, and things haven't improved. Real Madrid are now trailing Barcelona in La Liga and have already suffered a Shock Cup exit. Suddenly, Alonso doesn't look like the problem. He looks like the solution. Now zoom out across Europe. Enzo Maresca is being lined up as the long-term successor to Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Vincent Kompany is thriving at Bayern Munich, which means one thing. Xabi Alonso might be the biggest elite manager available right now. And for Liverpool, this is being described as a golden opportunity. But here's the twist. In England, the message is completely different. The Telegraph journalist Sam Wallace claims the club still believes in Arne Slot, with the idea that he deserves time, possibly up to 4 transfer windows, before any final judgment is made. Yet in Germany, insider Axel Hesse is saying the opposite, that a managerial change is expected, and Alonso is the top target. So what's the truth? Well, it all comes down to Fenway Sports Group. Behind closed doors, decisions are being weighed. Publicly, they're staying calm. But make no mistake, if results don't improve, the pressure will explode. And timing is everything. Liverpool's season is on the line, especially with that massive clash against Paris Saint-Germain. Overturn the deficit and Slot buys time. Fail. And the calls for change could become deafening. That's why this no doubts claim is so big. Because if Alonso really is Anfield bound, then we're not just talking about a rumour anymore. We're watching the early stages of a major Liverpool breakthrough. And the only question left is, how long until it happens? In other news, Arne Slot has made it clear, if Liverpool are to script yet another unforgettable European night at Anfield, it will demand nothing less than an exceptional performance against Paris Saint-Germain. The scale of the challenge is undeniable. Liverpool travel back to Merseyside trailing 2-0 from the first leg in Paris, a match in which they were comprehensively second best. At the Parc des Princes, PSG imposed themselves with authority, dominating possession, controlling territory, and, perhaps most concerningly for Slot, limiting Liverpool to 0 shots on target. For a club so synonymous with attacking intensity and relentless pressure, it was a performance that fell well below their usual standards on the European stage. Yet if there is one ground in world football where deficits can be overturned and logic can be defied, it is Anfield under the lights. Liverpool's modern European history is built on moments many deemed impossible, none more iconic than the 4-0 dismantling of Barcelona in 2019, overturning a 3-goal first-leg deficit on their way to lifting the UEFA Champions League final trophy. That night has become the benchmark, the reminder that belief, intensity, and momentum can transform even the bleakest scenarios. Slot, while grounded in realism, has pointed to tangible reasons for optimism. Across his 50 home matches in charge, Liverpool have scored 2 or more goals on 36 occasions, a statistic that underlines their attacking consistency at Anfield.
While those fixtures did not all come against opponents of PSG's caliber, they were far from routine, spanning both Premier League and UEFA Champions League competition. For Slot, it is evidence that his side possesses the tools required to at least put the tie back in balance. There is, however, no attempt to disguise the magnitude of the task. PSG arrived not only with a 2-goal cushion, but with the confidence and composure of reigning European champions, guided by the tactical acumen of Luis Enrique. Slot acknowledges that Liverpool must elevate themselves well beyond their recent showing, stressing that very special levels will be required. It is not just about improvement, it is about reaching a level that can unsettle one of the most technically gifted sides in Europe. Interestingly, despite the disappointment of the first leg, Slot has resisted the temptation to dramatically alter his tactical approach. The Dutchman dismissed suggestions that Liverpool were passive in Paris, insisting that his side attempted to press high and disrupt PSG's rhythm whenever possible. The issue, he suggested, was not intent but execution, and the sheer quality of the opposition in evading that pressure. That philosophy will remain intact for the return leg. Liverpool will not retreat into caution. Instead, they will embrace risks. Slot understands that to overturn a deficit against a side like PSG, passivity is not an option. Pressing high, forcing turnovers, and injecting tempo into the contest will be essential, but so too will precision, as PSG's ability to exploit spaces makes any defensive lapse potentially fatal. Form 2 adds an intriguing layer to the narrative. The defeat in Paris marked Liverpool's third consecutive loss, following a heavy 4-0 elimination at the hands of Man City in the FA Cup. For a team chasing silverware on multiple fronts, it was a wobble at the worst possible time. However, their victory over Fulham at the weekend offered a timely response, restoring a measure of confidence ahead of PSG's visit. Momentum, as Slot highlighted, could prove decisive. The first goal on the night carries enormous weight, not just in altering the aggregate scoreline, but in shifting the psychological balance of the tie. Liverpool have experienced both sides of that dynamic in recent weeks, conceding early at the Etihad and struggling to recover before benefiting from a positive start against Fulham. Another subplot lies in the emergence of Rio Numoha. The 17-year-old produced a standout performance at the weekend, capped by a superb goal that underlined both his technical quality and composure. Slot's faith in the teenager is telling. He believes in Numoha's mentality. His ability to remain unfazed by expectation positions him well to handle the magnitude of a Champions League quarter-final. It is a bold stance, but one consistent with Liverpool's identity, trusting young talent on the biggest stage, unafraid to embrace the moment rather than shrink from it. Ultimately, this is a night that will test every aspect of Slot's Liverpool, tactically, physically, and mentally. They must rediscover their attacking fluency, sharpen their pressing, and harness the energy of Anfield in a way that overwhelms PSG rather than plays into their hands. The margin for error is minimal, the opponent formidable, but history suggests that if any club can turn belief into reality under such circumstances, it is Liverpool at Anfield.
But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.